Welcome to a brief introduction of the Project SalesAchiever CRM. As we open the Project SalesAchiever CRM, the first thing you're going to notice is its familiarity. It's designed a lot around a Windows look and feel, so the idea is that users have instant familiarity with the product. If there's no hesitation in usage, anyone that's used Windows before would understand exactly the layout, would be cued in as to where they go. You'll also notice that Outlook is visible right here inside. They will see their own Outlook calendar. The user will see that in front of them with all of the historical actions in there. But the benefit now is that with Outlook fully embedded in the construction CRM, the users will get the full richness of Outlook combined with the full features and functionality of the richness of a construction CRM solution. Before we go too deep into Outlook, I'd like to take you around the system to show you a little bit about the projects, companies, and contacts. Let's go next into projects. Let's click on the icon for projects. The first thing we're going to see is a list layout of projects. The layout that you see here is fully customizable. And these projects that you see here could have been manually entered. They can be imported from any compatible lead provider, such as Dodge or Reed or Construct Connect, as they are now. So manual entry, or they can be imported from lead providers. We also have companies that bring in project leads from websites, from inquiries, and just external data sources as well. The layout you see here, as you can see, has some really valuable information. It includes the status of the job, the name of the job. It includes the business development manager's name. So anything that we place here, we can organize, scrutinize all of that data that's there. Now this layout is fully customizable, so we can take off any columns we don't want, and we can bring in any columns that we need or we feel we might need. I'll give you a quick example here of perhaps how it could be used. You might find that you want to look at all your jobs by the selling status. And here we can see we've got 9 at opportunity stage, 10 at estimating stage. We've got 7 now that we've won, and we can see all the values of those jobs right over here at those different stages. And that can be very valuable in understanding how valuable our funnel is. We can also try and understand how well our team is doing by individual. So we can group them by the business development manager, for example. Now these layouts that you see here that we're making can be saved and they can be shared. They can even be exported. So we can ensure that everybody's looking at the same information. So as you can see, it's fully customizable and easy to interact with. The next thing I'm going to do is we're going to look inside a project. So I'm just going to do a quick search for a product called Peachtree Station in Georgia. And I'm just going to look for that. And as we go into the record, the project record here, we immediately see key information on the Overview tab about this project itself, about this opportunity. We can see the name of the project, the values, the scheme value, the value to us. We can select various sources from where the lead came from. We can see where the project site is. We can see the location on the map, exactly where this project opportunity is. We can see the start and end date. We can see the various stages. Most importantly, we can see other items that are linked, like the company records and the contacts that are linked to this job. So we can double click and get to any of these companies from this project. And we can see the role that these companies have on this project. We can see the telephone number, we can get to the records. We can obviously see if we click on any of these records, key information about that company. Let's go to the top here and we'll just run through briefly key information and additional information that this project might have for us. You'll notice that these 6 tabs switched on. This CRM does come with many more modules, including a dispatch board, opportunities, additional opportunities linked to the project, auditing, lots of powerful features. Most importantly, it has the feature to enable you as a company to scale down the product to ensure it's easy to use to begin with. So if we leap in now to these key essential tabs here, the first one is the News tab. This does self-populate immediately with information that would be relevant to this particular project. It does self-populate. So we can see anything happening in news about this particular project, about this site. We can see this one here. Might be able to want to read about this Atlantic station and what's happening there. We can see additional site information about the project. And we can also go to the Information tab, which is where you can add an unlimited number of fields of all kind. So even though this is an out-of-the-box construction CRM, there is the facility and ability to add any field of any kind, an unlimited number of them as well. That's in the Information tab of the project. Also, we can see the actions that have taken place. In this case, there's just one telephone call at the moment. And this action you'll see in a second. I'll go into it, linked to Outlook. So if I double click on it, it is linked into Outlook. You'll immediately see this window pop. You'll see your action record from Outlook come onto the screen. And this is literally your Outlook. But in addition, we see a link to company, contact, and projects for this action. So this is a planned call. So I'm just going to close this. And then, of course, on the Companies tab, we basically have those companies that are linked to display here. We have an additional tab there. Some users of the product have many companies linked, and they need a much more broad, much more large screen to see all of the information that's linked to those companies, to those projects. So that's the project record. Most importantly, with the project record, we can get to any other record. We can get to the activities, we can see what's going on, we can go to the Overview tab, we can see the companies that are linked. And if I decide I'm going to make a phone call now, or I'm going to take a look at one of these companies, I can do that now from here as well. So from the project record, I can go now into the company record, and I'll do that now by just double clicking. Then I go into the company record. So I've gone from the project to the company record. If I was going to make a call at this point, I could immediately see from the company record the other projects that this company is linked to. I can drag and drop these off if I want to, just to create more space here. And I can talk to Balfour Beatty about all the projects that are involved here. I may be chasing one project, but I can bring up the record and I can see other projects as well. That's the most important. So while we're in the company record for a moment, let's take a look around. We've got the map locations to where they're located. We've got other jobs that they're linked to, and I can see the stages and statuses of those jobs. I can see, in addition, the News tab. So anything in the news that's happening with Balfour Beatty, I can go and read the various information. It can be shared, it can be websites, anything that's going on that will be informative for the call I can view here. Again, the Information tab, we can see our own more information and configure this for our own use, and we can add as many as we want. So whatever requirements are necessary, there's an unlimited number of fields that can be added there. All actions on this company are here, so phone calls, meetings, emails, everything will be located here for us to see. And I can also see exactly what's going on historically. So I can see the contacts that are linked. I can jump right into a contact record if I need to. And again, that's what the project record, there's a tab here that takes companies, but inside the company record, or the project tab, it allows me to see all of the projects linked here. So there's a lot of them I can see, and I can manipulate the information as I want to, so I can see exactly what jobs we've won, or what we're estimating on, or what's in the opportunity stage, and so on. This enables any user to be much more effective on the phone or on a private call with this company. It enables the user, if they're chasing a project, for example, they bring up a company record, they can be much more tuned in as to what's happening with this company because they have more information going into the call. So this is the company record here. So let's jump out of the company record, out of the project record, and let's clear our search. And we're back to projects. And as you recall, we've got a projects list layout here, one that we can change. Now that also applies for companies as well. So we can be company centric. We can organize our companies by location, where they're located. I can see they're by state, by province. I can see exactly where they're at. I can change the layout. So the fields you see here, every single field in the database, you could display the information exactly how you want it. And any information at all you can share. So you can build all kinds of reports and layouts on a user-by-user basis or on a company-wide basis, generically. So for now, I'm just going to select one field here called Area and Materials. So we know that this division, we can see now which account, which area this account covers. Okay? So we can display any field we want to in the companies list, projects list, and moving on, we've got contacts as well. So we can see in this particular list, we've set it out, so we've got the name of the person and the projects that they're linked to. So it all depends on how we want to view the information. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is go back to a company record, and I'm going to search for Balfour Beatty, for example. This one in North Carolina. And if we bring up the Balfour Beatty record, we go into contacts, and we're going to look at contacts linked, and I'm going to look at Ron Gantz here. If I double click on that, I can immediately see details about Ron. I can see his LinkedIn, Twitter feed. I can see projects that Ron's specifically linked to. Again, on the Information tab, this is where we can store an unlimited amount of information we want to track about Ron in addition to what we have, but we probably haven't covered. What's unique to the contact record is the contact history. Now in construction, we all know that people move around quite a bit. Now this is an area where we can move a contact from one company to another, and it's done very easily, and it will also take all of their historical information, like their contact details, projects, historical projects, and so we see that Ron's been to other companies. We can see historically what other jobs Ron has worked on with those other companies. So this is a very powerful tool to ensure that we keep a track on our contacts and we're familiar with what's going on with them regardless of what company they're working for at the current time. We've got all of that information stored here. Okay, so just step out of here for a moment onto out of the company record. And now we're going to go back to the Outlook calendar by just clicking here. And now we'll have the Outlook calendar open. This is an incredibly powerful feature within the CRM, so you can see how it works. You'll carry on using your Outlook calendar, but the benefit of when I double click, I can add an action to my calendar. We're going to say, okay, I'm going to do Ron regarding the Peachtree project. And I can say, okay, I need to speak about the timings of the project. So I say I need to speak about the timings of the project, for example. It's going to be a telephone call. Of course, this is where it becomes more powerful because now your Outlook calendar is displayed, but it's sort of turbocharged because now you're connected up with all of the data in the CRM. So this action I'm about to log will be filed away against the company, contact, and project. So if I just bring up the company link now, I can now link this action to a company. I'm going to go search here for Balfour Beatty, and the one we wanted, I believe, was in Charlotte here. And the contact we want to speak to is Ron Gantz, so I'll link it to a contact. And at any point, you can create a new record. So if we want to, we can link this to a different contact, one that's not already in the system. We can add a new contact at this point if we want. And also, now we can link it to a project. So I can link it there to that Peachtree Station project. So if I save and close this, this is going for the 29th of January. Then we can see here, there it is there in the calendar. If I double click on that and open it back up, I can see all of the details on the company record. I can view the contact record, and I can view the project record from this location. No other CRM will allow you to, within Outlook, link your actions to companies, contacts, and projects. And when we turn the quote module on, you can turn that on as well. It's extremely powerful, and it's most important to remember that if you can't, from an action within Outlook, if you're using Outlook, if you can't get to those records and link the actions to those records, it's not a CRM for construction, because there'll be another user somewhere that needs to look at that company record of Balfour Beatty and see what action has taken place. There'll be another user somewhere else that needs to talk to the contact and see that action. And there'll be another user somewhere else that's tracking that project and wants to know what's happening on this Peachtree project, what's happened recently, and what's been going on. So unless this action record is completely linked to all those entities, it can't work for a construction company. But if it is, it's very, very powerful, because while you're in Outlook, while you're on a call, you can view the information, update the information. You have everything that you need right there from the calendar linked in with the CRM. So if we come out of the action here, we can see how that works. And now I'm just going to discuss the list manager briefly. This is an area where we can store and create queries about the different entities, accounts, companies, where you can question the database, save your favorite list, like all my contractors, for example, all my clients in New York, for example. We've got contacts. If we're doing like an e-blast, for example, looking at projects, we can look at projects in the pre-qualified, target, estimated stage. We can really start to make the information work really well for us and efficiently. And again, it's important to know that there's not a lot of information that you need to put into the CRM to make it deliver some really powerful reports for you. It's designed in such a way that it makes the data work hard. Quite simply, by going back to the Outlook scenario, we've got one action that can be stored against all those different entities, which means that we can start asking questions about projects, about contacts, about companies in relation to activity, because everything is connected together. Okay, what I want to do before we wrap up, I'm going to show you just a very brief summary of how the system could look with more modules switched on. This will take about 30 seconds. So this is the module. Every one of the users of Project SalesAchiever CRM can have access to all of these modules. It's just that initially companies have decided to keep it very simple to use initially so that people can get used to it little by little. They're forced to use it, they see the value in it, and then obviously the key to any CRM is that it's easy to use to begin with. As users get more familiar with it, knowledge is built within any business, more modules can be switched on. So you have that ability there. And here we have quotations module. We have multiple quotes being linked to projects. We've also got opportunities, where some companies that use Project SalesAchiever find that it's not just one project, one opportunity. There can be multiple opportunities within one single project. There's also a dispatch board. That's a very powerful tool for linking companies to assign tasks and work projects to different users of different teams within a scheduling board or within a scheduling chart style within the product. For more information, you can also request a detailed demonstration, a demonstration that's more relevant to your business. But I hope this gives you a good idea as to how the CRM could help your business, how it functions. And please feel free to reach out to us anytime, and we'll be more than happy to show you more or explain more about the CRM in more detail in a way that's more catered to your business. Thanks for watching this presentation of the Project SalesAchiever CRM.